This week on Nation's Business, we bring you the highlights of the first ever bilateral visit by an Australian Prime Minister in our country. Australian Prime Minister His Excellency Scott Morrison was in the country with his wife Ms. Jenny Morrison for 2 days as part of the Australian government's Step Up Pacific policy engagement. This meant stronger partnerships for economic growth and stronger relationships between our two countries. At the Nassau airport, the Australian Prime Minister and his wife was welcomed by the Minister for Defence and National Security, the Honourable Inia Seriratu, and other government officials. From here, the Prime Minister was accorded a traditional welcoming ceremony at the Grand Pacific Hotel in Suva.
Sa waktu raka sa kacuk kina ikemri natural Prime Minister. Lulu di matintu na bunu waktu raka sa Australia. Dosa na kamuna ngau tu merasa cuci matamni. Na ingalo waktu raka wabunu. Saya ikemni ingalo bisa kaciko. Ena busa nomni atau sa kaciko mai ena bulu binaka. Ena mata sa okemi.
We are nations of great friendship, but as the Prime Minister and I have discussed a number of times, we are more than that, we are family of Ireland. So we come here today in the spirit of family and thank you for the tremendously warm welcome that you have given us today. And I'm going.
A private lunch followed at the popular Tico's floating restaurant. Nation's Business follows behind in the motorcade as Australian Prime Minister pays a courtesy call to His Excellency the President, Major General Retired Chochi Kondrote. Fiji and Australia have a long history of cooperation with shared interests and values. The Australian government is taking this bilateral relationship to greater heights with the introduction of the new Bilateral partnership.
I'm proud to say that Prime Minister Morrison and I have dubbed the new Fiji-Australia Bilateral partnership, aiming to consolidate our two countries' relations in order to leverage new opportunities and address common challenges.
The Australia University of the South Pacific Partnership will be worth more than $84 million over the next 6 years, and that is Australia's investment ensuring the tertiary education system that is being provided here will be able to meet future needs. We're also announcing the Australian Government, in partnership with Free TV in Australia, will commit some $17.1 million to provide 1,000 hours of new Australian television content each year for 3 years to Pacific broadcasters.
Vuvale, the Fijian term for family, will strengthen the bond between our two countries. Some of this would include strengthening border security, maritime safety, education, sports, trade, medicine, and labor. Don't go away. After the break, we bring you the spouse's visit at the children's ward at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital and a visit to the Fiji Museum. In this segment, Nation's Business follows Australian Prime Minister's wife, Mrs. Jenny Morrison, and Fijian Prime Minister's wife, Mrs. Mary Bainimarama, for a visit to the Fiji Museum. Here, the ladies were greeted by Fijian traditional weavers. Mrs. Morrison also got a chance to buy some souvenirs at the museum gift shop. We then take you to the children's ward at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital.
We hope will be useful maybe as a fulfilling the laws of
I love it.
So thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. It's really good.
Despite their busy day, they took time to pay tribute to fallen soldiers who served as peacekeepers. We then cross over to the University of the South Pacific.
Today I announce a new partnership between Australia and the University of South Pacific. It was worth waiting for. $84 million over the next 6 years. We do this because it matters and it counts and you get results. USP has a unique role in developing the skills needed to drive the region's development and economic growth long into the future. Last year, USP, as you noted earlier, celebrated its 50th anniversary. So did I, by the way.
This is remarkable achievement, not from me, but for the USP.
Master student Sumit Lal tells Nations Business how these funds will go a long way in assisting students at USP.
I think it will be very beneficial for the University of South Pacific in terms of infrastructure development, ICT development, and yeah, it's going to be a very awesome experience. It's going to boost the students' learning capacity.
The university itself is just not for Fiji, but we are based in all, as he said, and as you know, based in 12 member countries. So the benefits for USP will not only stay within Fiji, but it will help the whole of the region because we take the lead in terms of providing education for the whole region. We produce leaders, we produce a number of people in the workforce that currently are leading in different areas, and for the future, and our students when they graduate, and they will actually follow this path and contribute towards our region's development.
Mr. Morrison then makes his way to the Australian Pacific Training Coalition for a tour around the facility. Don't go away, Nations Business brings you more after the break. The second day started with a prayer breakfast at the Grand Pacific Hotel. In attendance was the Fijian Prime Minister, his ministers and other government officials.
This is a nation of great faith. It is a peoples from many islands who share a deep and committed faith, and this has informed and blessed Fiji.
From GPH, the Australian Prime Minister crossed over to Albert Park wearing his favourite team jersey to meet local National Rugby League players.
That's how we're looking forward to the game. Great to meet you all. You guys' reputation, both teams here have got a great reputation in the code, so all the best. And it's a bit warmer playing here than it is back home in Australia, but I'm sure you're pretty used to it, so it's great to see you here.
Here he announced a possible pre-season NRL matches in 2020. This meant Australia will facilitate Fiji's pathway into the Intertrust Super Premiership in New South Wales in 2020. Nations Business spoke to NRL legend and former Fiji Mbati captain Bilateral to get his reactions on this announcement.
I guess the missing link in the development pathway for Fiji Rugby League, and what that does, it provides a wonderful professional opportunity here in Fiji to perform on the big stage in an Australian competition in New South Wales. So we're really excited, and we're looking forward to I guess as this develops, and obviously to have the support of the Australian federal government is really big for the game here in Fiji.
Nations Business also catches up with Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, John Fex, to get his take on the visit.
This has been a fantastic visit, and I'd like to thank the Government of Fiji for all of the arrangements which have been first class. I'd like in particular to thank the Chief of Protocol from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, JT, This has been a wonderful visit, and I think it really does open a new chapter in our relations. This is the first visit by an Australian Prime Minister for a long, long time, and I know Prime Minister Morrison not only has enjoyed the visit, but he's valued greatly the time he's been able to spend with your Prime Minister, and also the Prime Minister's wife has enjoyed her interactions with Mrs. Bainimarama. So I think it's a new era in relations. We're putting the past behind us and moving forward, and I'm very optimistic about the future for Australia and Fiji. And again, thanks very much to your government for what's been a wonderful visit.
We then take you to Nadi at the Black Rock campsite.
The redevelopment of Black Rock is not just about the bricks and mortar, it is a symbol of our partnership, a long-term and enduring commitment. Black Rock will increase the interoperability between our militaries, as well as our police forces. Crucially, it will also build the personal links between the men and women of Australia and Fiji who serve in our uniforms, under our flags, to protect our values all around the world.
The 2 days was a successful one as both countries reaffirmed their partnership through shared mutual interest.